clicked on this video, you probably want to know how to make your LinkedIn profile look 10/10, absolutely stunning, amazing quality, bringing the recruiters, bringing the offers, bringing the money, 70 to 100 bags. I'm talking, let's go out there and buy M4, get that on the driveway. No, but seriously though, if you clicked on this video, then your LinkedIn profile probably needs some work. From my personal experience, I get around 2 to 3 job offers a week on LinkedIn. I am an experienced professional, but if you look at some of my previous videos on how to build experience and how to get a job without experience, they should help and do great things for you, I hope, because they've been well received, and I'm glad, and I really like helping people and adding value, and this is what this channel is all about. But I've noticed a lot recently that a lot of people who do sign up to LinkedIn, they don't know how to make the most of LinkedIn and how to make sure that you're making your profile stand out and look the most appealing as it can be to recruiters. So I'm gonna give you some quick tips in this video. So grab a pen. I'll also link down my LinkedIn profile down below so you can have a look and see what it looks like. I understand that it's not going to be the same for every single role you apply for. I'm a cloud engineer and I work in the field of IT, so I know that this LinkedIn profile probably won't relate to every single field. However, I do feel like the presentation and the way that my LinkedIn profile is laid out has helped a lot of my friends in other careers. So even though my profile is kind of customized towards technology, that's just based on the experience that's shown on my LinkedIn profile. So do take everything I say with a pinch of salt, but at the same time, take in those key skills that I mentioned in this video and make sure you properly use and make use of those things within your LinkedIn profile to make sure that you stand out. So the first thing I'm going to mention is, a lot of people fail at this, and I know it's like the most simple thing ever, is make sure that your profile picture is not is some weird selfie, some pout, something that's built to be on Instagram, because LinkedIn is very much a professional network. Now, a lot of people do tell you, okay, look, you should showcase your personality and all of that, and that's great. You can still do that through other means, but make sure that your profile picture is just like a mugshot, nice smile, nice casual shirt, just something like that you would wear to, I don't know, university, or something that you would wear to a professional event. I'm sure no one really goes to professional events outside of the working environment, but you know what I mean. And if you want some examples of this, you can have a look at my LinkedIn profile, and I should give you a general guideline on what to do. It doesn't have to be a white background. You can be somewhere with some bookie effect lighting or somewhere nice, but try to make it look professional. So no gang signs or hand signs or anything weird like that. Just keep it nice, simple, sleek. A nice smile goes a long way as well. Yeah, make sure you don't look moody in the profile picture, because and also, if you want a second opinion on whether you look moody or happy or smiley or not, just ask a family member or ask a friend, because that's what really helped me. I remember I had just a casual picture of me in a suit and I was looking glum. One of my boys told me, listen, that picture just looks like you look sad. So I changed it up, and it's all constructive criticism. And one thing I love about LinkedIn is that it really brings the community together. Everyone is working together to help one another to grow and build their careers. And if you don't have a job, it's a great platform to meet other people and find great opportunities. So just take it as constructive criticism. Okay, so the second thing I'm going to mention is the header, that banner that you have behind your profile picture. With that you could be tailor it towards your personality. So you can have a nice kind of background related to the industry or the technology that you're interested in, or maybe a nice gradient background. So use that to your advantage as well. It's kind of like a nice Twitter banner, and we're always looking for ways that we can improve aesthetics in our home. So think of LinkedIn as a more kind of bougie CV. You just want the header to kind of stand out and just add or accent your profile. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but in my head it sounds good. So then obviously your name. I try to just keep it to my first name and my last name. I do have like a middle name and then a nickname, and it all gets a bit techie. So I think the best way, in my opinion, and obviously you're entitled to your own, the best way in my opinion is to just have a first name, a last name, and then obviously use pronouns if you want to use pronouns. Just to keep it short and sweet. And obviously when a recruiter calls you anyway or emails you and they ask you, hey, what is your name? For example, you can just give them your nickname anyway and say, my name is Minhajul, but people prefer to call me MJ. It just makes life a lot easier. And then you can just go from there. The next step is your about section. Now, I've seen a lot of people when they make their about section, they make these really super long like paragraphs and like it almost looks like a dissertation, and like you want to limit your about section. It has to be short, catchy, like a quick summary. Just think of it as like a blurb. Like on the back of a book, you're reading it to get like a quick, short, like movie trailer or preview about who you are as a person. What skills and what value do you bring to the table? What you want to consider is a lot of people to like as a estimate kind of guideline to how many words you should put in your about section. I would say minimum or maximum you should be aiming for is between like just under 100 or even like 120 words max. I wouldn't go over that, because after that you get this like weird, like even before that you get this weird like see more button, and then people are kind of skeptical, am I going to press see more? It's just going to drop like a whole ton of text. And I'm not sure if LinkedIn gives you like a specific like 500 word limit, but I would stick to around 100 to 120 words max, and I wouldn't go beyond that, because otherwise like yeah, that's just, you want something that's going to be eye-catching and engaging, and you almost want it to be like, look, a CV is something that someone picks up and then they want information there that gives them enough value to want to pursue you more, to find out more about you as a person. So see it like that you just want to keep it short, sweet, and promote like your best value features within your industry, within that about section. And then the next step is obviously your work experience, and you want to do it from the most recent work experience all the way down to the bottom section. If you don't have work experience and you're just a fresh graduate, you can watch my How to Get a Graduate Job with No Experience video, which will be linked here. Or if you don't want to watch that video and just go from video to video, because I understand how it gets, you can, in your work experience, for the time being, while you don't have work experience, you can put, these are the projects that I worked on throughout university, and then just write the project, the timeline within the work experience category, and then obviously a short description in bullet points, what you did within that project and what skills you gained from doing that project. Now, in the same way, if you do have experience, you want to list your job experiences from most recent all the way down to like the oldest job that you've ever worked, like in terms of history wise. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's late night on a Sunday. Start with the most recent work history and then work your way down. And then you want to put in key dates, and you also want to put in, again, what you did within those roles. And I've said this time and time again in many of my videos, what you did within those roles and what skill you gained from doing that. Like, you got a certification by learning something about cybersecurity. Obviously, these are not detailed answers that I'm giving you. They're just like a summary of what you should put. So every time you put a skill, don't just say, and I've stressed this time and time again, don't just say, this is the skill. Say, this is the skill. This is how I got the skill. And that's it. Or, this is how I got this skill. Like, this is what I did. Like, through liaising with customers on a day-to-day basis, I developed excellent customer service skills within a higher pressure working environment. So you're saying, again, that this is what I did, this is the skill I gained from it. So it's showing that you can learn and obviously adapt and gain skills within the working environment, which is important, and it's a really nice way to display skills. So after you've done the experience section, if you look at my profile, which is linked down below, you'll see that maximum I stick to like 3 or 4 bullet points of these like skills, or like what I like did in my role that added value. And then when I did that, at the very top, I added like a short, like nice little flair kind of statement. Like, for example, when I worked at Selfridges, I wrote, I was so excited to have a yellow name badge, and then smiley face, or the emoji that's got like sweat dripping. Yeah. I've had a lot of recruiters who've commented on that and said that is a really nice way to get our attention. And I had a lot of fun while I was scrolling through your LinkedIn profile. You want to stand out. Like, obviously, you don't want to be corny and cheesy and cringy, and I get that. Like, as um, someone from the younger generation, I completely get that. But at the same time, by you like using the tools that LinkedIn gives you, like has to offer, and you put in like these, you don't have to use that statement thing, but I just did it as this is a short sentence at the very top of each job, just to say what I like the most about the job, or like something fun about the job, like this was my first job ever. And it, like, from a recruiter's perspective, from what I've heard, it gives them something fun to read. So when they do click see more under one of your jobs and they see a list of all the things that you did at that job, um, it kind of keeps them like, it's like fun to read. It's not just like a boring wall of text. It also shows and showcases your personality in like a much better form. And a lot of recruiters do message me and say, oh, like, I really liked that you added like these short statements with these emojis. It was super cool, and I was super interested to get on the phone and start speaking to you. Then obviously underneath that, and this is one thing that I can't stress enough. LinkedIn gives you so many different sections. Like, they give you education, volunteer experiences, recommendations, skills, the LinkedIn skills assessments. You want to use as many as you can. Those sections are there for you to use them, for you to add to your CV and showcase your values in like the most presentable way possible. And the best thing about it is, if you don't have work experience, you can use all these other tools like recommendations and passing LinkedIn skills assessments and adding skills to your profile and adding volunteer experience to even boost your like CV or your LinkedIn CV further. And you should be like aiming to make sure everything else is 10-10. So even if I don't have experience, I am a 10-10 candidate because I have all of these other things that you can see. So that's what you should be aiming for. And that's what I would be aiming for. So then the next step is, I'm trying to think, oh yes, education. So with your education, you do the same thing under work experience. You list your education from most recent all the way down, and then you put like what you did, how you added value, or what skills you gained. And then you do that in like a short paragraph. Again, I wouldn't use paragraph. I would prefer to use bullet points. But I understand sometimes that might not always be feasible, so you can add a paragraph. And again, I would aim for between like maximum like 100 to 150 words. I wouldn't go more than that. Unless it's a research project that you're working on and you have a lot to talk about, which could potentially add a lot of value, then it makes sense. Underneath your education, you want to add licenses and certifications. And the licenses and certifications can be anything. Like, you don't need like an AWS certification. Like when you're applying for like an entry role or like a mid role, you don't need to have all of these like amazing courses, etc., to get your dream job. Like, I've got friends who are lawyers, I've got friends who are solicitors, I've got friends who are engineers, accountants, investment bankers. And I'm not saying all this to show off. I'm saying this because I just want you to realize that don't ever put yourself down and think, oh, I don't have this amazing like long list of licenses and certifications, I won't get this job. Because like I said before, if you showcase yourself through all these other sections that LinkedIn offers, you can still get offers and you can still make the most of LinkedIn and find the best opportunity for you. So keeping all that in mind, with your licenses and certifications, you can add like Udemy courses on there. You can add Code Academy courses on there. You can add so many different courses within these sections, or you can just like aim to say that, oh, right now I'm actually studying for one of these licenses and certifications. So do add them if you can. If you don't have any, then just a simple one that you can add is just a UK driving license, or whatever country that you're in, driving license. Even though it's not like suitable for every single role you apply for, or probably it won't be suitable for 90% of the jobs you apply for. It's a good way of showcasing that, you know what, like my mom told me this when I was younger. She said you should aim to get a license even if you don't want to get a car, because it showcases that you're that kind of person that has that will and that kind of consistency to go out there and do something, even if it's something so small. And I've had recruiters pick up on that and say, oh, I've seen that you put your UK driving license on there, or you put a license on there. Like, oh, that's nice. When did you pass? If anything, if nothing else, it can be just a good conversation starter when someone lands on your profile. So there's that. And then you can add volunteer experience. Now, a lot of people tell me I don't have time to do volunteering because like there is not enough time in the day to see my friends, etc., etc., and all of this like stuff. Let's just say, like I realized recently and in like many years ago that when I checked my screen time, I wasted a lot of time on my phone. And I'm not saying like I'm the most engaged person with charity. Maybe I have been in the past, but even like today, sometimes I struggle to find that time. But with volunteering, it can be as easy as just signing up to like an organization like Oxfam or Cancer Research or Human Relief Foundation or any organization that you're interested in. And you're just signing up as a volunteer. And if they have events and you feel like going to them, you can go to them. But at the same time, because obviously you should go to them and it's fun, and I've been to so many like volunteer events and it's actually amazing. I'm going to Peru in November to climb Machu Picchu. I don't even know if I pronounced that mountain name correctly, but it's one of the 7 wonders of the world, and it's going to be an amazing trek, and I'm doing it for charity, which is going to be a blast, 100%. But if you don't have the time, if anything, you can still get the like these charities reaching out to you for events, and you can sign up as a volunteer, and you can list that on your LinkedIn profile to say I've been a volunteer for however long, and I do like. You don't have to say that you're always there. You can just say that I am a volunteer, I'm volunteering, and obviously you do it with the right and the good intentions, and you can say what events that you've been involved in bullet points. Even if you just go to one, but you're still a volunteer, and then you can keep that on your profile for however long, and that is you volunteering. When you do have the time, you're still getting invitations from these charities. You're still giving like your time through donations or through getting involved and actually helping out, and that's a good way for you to build that experience. So you should maximize that opportunity to use that volunteer experience section, because in all honesty, I'm definitely not telling you to go out there and fake that you volunteered for an organization. That's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you to make time and go out there, even if it's 1 event or 2 events or 3 events, and put that volunteer experience within your profile, because it really, really, really does matter when companies, especially like I've noticed in recent years, companies have included in their assessment questions, they've included a question which is, explain a time when you've gone out of your way to help someone. And this is like one of the most common assessment questions that comes up. Now you can say, over the past few years or over the past few months, I've been volunteering for so-and-so organization. This is what they do to help others or animals or climate change, and this is what I've done to help them. These are the events that I've been a part of, and I believe that this really shows my passion and my dedication for helping others. So you've solved, like, you answered the question, but you've also given like plausible evidence to show like how and why you've answered the question. So yeah, definitely make the most of that volunteer section. It does stand out massively to recruiters. Now the next thing is, with LinkedIn, sometimes I use it like Facebook, and I used to not add a lot of people, or I would only add like my friends or people I knew in real life. Now I quickly realized, and I'm still learning, but I quickly realized that on LinkedIn, the algorithm works in a way where the more connections you have, the more opportunities are available to you. So in a way, you should really make sure that you maximize the amount of connections you have. That doesn't mean you just add everyone. I've also like been told by some of my colleagues at Amazon and Google and Chase that when you apply for when you add certain people to your connections who work at like these big companies, um, you're increasing your chances of the LinkedIn algorithm picking your profile up and displaying it to other people to say, hey, look, add this person or connect with this person. So it's great. And I see a lot of people that have 500 plus connections, and I used to think that it was a bad thing, but it's actually a really good thing, because the more people you're connected with, the more chances you have of being spotted by recruiters. So you should definitely check that out and look out more ways on how the LinkedIn algorithm works, and how you can get even more profile views by just connecting with other people, or even like writing posts or engaging in conversations, or even just liking or reacting to posts, which is really cool. And I've started to use LinkedIn religiously now, like almost like more than Instagram, just because it's kind of fun and it adds value to your life. So why wouldn't you, right? When you add skills, you can add as many as you want. I would add like 50 plus, to be honest, or as many skills as I can. Like when it says there, oh, you can add up to 50, add up to 50. Like, come on, guys. Like, you, as you grow throughout life, you gain skills in everything: time management, communication. Obviously, the older you get, your skills become more specialized, and then you can mention specific skills like, oh, I'm a skilled Python programmer, or I'm skilled in machine learning, or I'm skilled in, I don't know, civil engineering, something specialized, okay? But for the time being, if you don't have a really specialized skill set, add as many skills as you can, because yeah, like you're trying to make yourself stand out in a world filled with billions of people. And the best way to do it is to show how much value that you can bring to a company or an organization's profile. So make sure you add a bunch of skills, fill up the whole skills list, and then obviously make sure that those are skills that you do actually have though. Like, don't say that, oh, I'm a Java developer, and then when a recruiter asks you, oh, you might have a Java test, like and it might be live, yeah, you're gonna struggle with that one. So make sure you're only putting skills on there that you can actually live up to. Yeah, I learned that the hard way, because one time I had like a coding test for like this language I put myself down for, and then the woman was like, hey, can you like build me this from scratch? And I was sat there and I was like, okay, I don't really know how to do that. Like, I know, but I can't really show you live because I've never done that before. And then she was like, oh no, it's fine. Like, I understand you're under a lot of pressure, and it's fine. We can skip to the next question. And when she said that, obviously that hurt me a lot, because I like to answer questions. I don't like to skip questions, because it's almost like, not that I'm a know-it-all or anything, but it's just like, I knew that I wasn't going to get the job and I didn't get it. So yeah, there's that. You need to make sure that you also add the LinkedIn skills assessments. There's skills assessments for Excel, Word, literally like almost every single skill you can add to LinkedIn, there's a skills assessment for it. So make sure you add those skills assessments, because when a recruiter or someone clicks on your profile and it says, you've got this skill and you've also passed the LinkedIn skills assessment, it looks really, really good. So make sure you add that. And then recommendations are a massive one. Now, you can get recommendations from anyone, like friends, family, whoever you want, but I would really encourage you to get recommendations from your managers, from the places you've worked. So you can click on add recommendation, and I think it will say choose which part of your work experience you want experience from. Again, if you're a university student who's just graduated and you don't have that experience to get recommendations from, you can get recommendations from your university professors and use it like that, based on your education as well, not just your work experience. You want to use that recommendation section, add it to your profile, and get as many recommendations as you can from professors, university lecturers, people who've managed you, people like line managers, task managers, and you want to fill up those recommendations. And I'm sure like people are generally nice. When you ask someone for a recommendation, 9 times out of 10, someone will leave you a pretty good recommendation. So you should make the most of that, and ask people that you've worked for to leave you like an honest recommendation or like a nice recommendation, and use that space to fill up your recommendation section. Because realistically, when a recruiter or someone who's hiring for a company or like a senior manager looks at your profile, they can only go by what you're telling them. But if other people are also kind of voicing your opinion or like supporting you and saying, oh, this person is really good and they're an asset to every team they work in, or they work exceptionally hard, and other people are echoing that, that really stands out to recruiters as well. So I hope you learned a lot in this video and you gained enough value that you can apply to your own LinkedIn profiles and get those offers in and have recruiters reaching out to you, because your LinkedIn profile is now going to be looking 10/10. If you found enough value within this video, please do subscribe and press the notification bell to get notified whenever I post. I will be posting a lot more frequently, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.